What's up guys, it is I, once again, Mr. Gamer 990, and today guys and gals, I want to talk about and review the 2014 role-playing 2D side-scrolling video game, Lisa the Painful, developed and published by Dingaling Productions, written, designed and created by Austin Jorgensen, who was able to fund this game due to Kickstarter and support from many people who were looking forward to playing this game, as yours truly definitely was. And this game, guys and gals, is absolutely fantastic. I love this game so much. The story, the action, the RPG turn-based gameplay, and the very dark sense of humor this game has, all of it is so good. And the story in particular stood out most to me because the story, guys and gals, is so powerful and so heartfelt. Lisa the Painful tells the tale of this man, a middle-aged man named Bradley Armstrong, or simply known as Brad. It's basically the dark tale, the dark odyssey of Bradley Armstrong, one of many struggling survivors in this world, a fictional world known as Olathe, which has collapsed and has crumbled due to this event, a mysterious event known as the White Flash. It's very unknown what this White Flash exactly is, but Bradley Armstrong and many survivors in this world have to survive no matter what, and all they have left is their wits, their strength, each other, those they trust, and of course this drug, a drug known as joy, which is the equivalent to heroin, alcohol, cocaine, and of course sex in terms of their addictive qualities. And this drug joy is very dangerous because while this drug can actually give the user or the consumer, as the name suggests, joy, pleasure, you name it, but this drug also brings the user or consumer pain, misery, and eventually transforms them into this monster, a very hideous, ungodly being known as mutant. These mutant creatures who are very horrendous to look at, and these creatures, guys and gals, inhabit this world alongside the survivors. However, the biggest downside to this world, the world of Olathe and the apocalypse that these survivors are now in, is the fact that there is no more human female. All of the women have gone extinct because of the White Flash, leaving the men behind without any women and no way to repopulate the world to make sure that mankind flourishes, until one day Bradley Armstrong finds this small baby, and this small baby Bradley Armstrong takes as his own daughter, and as he puts it, his second chance at life, because Bradley Armstrong was abused and psychologically damaged by his father, Marty, who has shown no love and no care towards his son and has basically abused him and destroyed him psychologically, physically, and emotionally. And Bradley Armstrong was also bullied by many kids when he was young. Those two aspects in his life, the negative aspects, has traumatized him so much so that he finds life to be meaningless and that all human beings are evil and very corrupt, and there is no other reason for him to exist except to survive in this world, a world filled with rapists, murderers, and all kinds of inhuman monsters, excluding this young girl, the baby girl he found, who he would name Buddy. Bradley Armstrong raised Buddy as his own alongside his beloved friends, 3 of them. All of them become a family and show love and affection towards Buddy until she grows up and abandons Bradley because Bradley Armstrong has not shown her the proper love a father should show his daughter, because he kept her locked in and made sure that she never entered the outside world where men are likely to rape, murder, or do God knows what to her. And Bradley Armstrong wants nothing more than to protect Buddy from the outside world and the men who inhabit the world, these murderers, rapists, and all kinds of inhuman monsters. What Bradley does not understand, however, is that he is hurting her the most, because by keeping her locked in and not allowing her to make her own choices, as she is becoming a woman who can make her own choices and make her own decisions in life and start her own journey, because Bradley, just because he is a fuck up in life and just because he was traumatized because of his father and the bullies who abused him and tormented him when he was young, Bradley Armstrong has no excuse for keeping Buddy in their home and locking her up basically and not allowing her to make her own choices as a woman. And because of this, Buddy ran away. Despite that, Bradley Armstrong is going to do what he has to do to ensure that Buddy is safe and to bring her back home home where she belongs. And Bradley Armstrong is a very complex character, not a saint by any means, but he is a very flawed man with a very troubled past who has endured so much pain, misery, and sadness, hence the title of the game, Lisa the Painful. Bradley Armstrong is very much a dark character, a dark anti-hero type character, and depending on the choices you make as Bradley Armstrong, whether to kill people needlessly to save Buddy, or to recruit people against their will by holding someone they love as hostage, whether a little bird or someone they love, Bradley Armstrong is going to do what he believes in his mind is right to ensure that Buddy is safe and she never gets hurt by anyone, even though he is hurting her the most by what he's doing to her, and the fact that he is going out of his way to kill people, those who stand in his way, to save Buddy. This kind of character is very hard to like, but yours truly, regardless, sympathize with him, because as a man who wants to protect those closest to him, even though at times I feel like I am hurting them the most, I want to do what's best for them in my mind, even though at times what you're doing is not the right thing. Sometimes people make their own choices, no matter it's right or wrong, it's their choice to make, and you can't judge their life based on how you view them or how you view life, which is the case with Bradley Armstrong, a very flawed character, but a very fascinating and very complex character, and one yours truly sympathized with so much, even though what he does, whether right or wrong, is very uncalled for, because Bradley Armstrong is like an uncontrollable beast who can't be stopped, and Bradley Armstrong specializes in his own karate style known as Armstrong style, and this style you can actually use in combat, a RPG turn-based combat. Combine the RPG turn-based combat and the 2D side-scrolling element of the game, which is basically the gameplay to Lisa the Painful. Lisa the Painful, for me personally, was so much fun to play through, and the sense of humor this game has, the very dark sense of humor, is quite surprising and yet still so much fun to witness and to experience firsthand, especially for yours truly who does not play that many games on Steam or Windows, which this game is available on. This game does have some flaws, which includes the pacing, the difficulty, and of course the fact that this game was made so fast, and this game had no time to be polished and to be complete by Austin Jorgensen. Even though this game is very fun to play through, for me personally, those flaws definitely stand out. Despite that, however, I do love this game, and I do recommend you guys and gals play this game if you wish. It's a very fun game to play through. Its sense of humor is quite surprising, though so much fun to experience, and the story, of course, is so dark, so depressing, and yet so powerful. This game, guys, is one you have to play, especially if you are a fan of these kind of games which tells the story of a man trying to protect a little girl. Lisa the Painful, very much like The Last of Us, The Walking Dead Season 1, and many other games of this kind of story. These are the kind of games yours truly loves most. The soundtrack, guys, is so good and so unique. I mean, this soundtrack and all the songs in this game, the music rather, is so much fun to listen to. It's very different, at times scary, at times humorous. The soundtrack works so well with the story and the sense of humor this game has, the very dark sense of humor. But this game, guys, overall is something you have to play at some point. I do recommend you guys and gals play Lisa the Painful if you wish. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe if you wish, and do check out my other channel where I talk about movies, television, anime, etc. Until next time, peace out, take care, adios, amigos, au revoir, and sayonara.